Hi, this is for the people that chose pile 3 in the January 24th upload of the You Are the Reader series. It is merely the guidebook definitions of the cards in case you wanted a little more than the keywords. I would encourage you, if you came up with a solid meaning for a card that applies to your life and it is different than the guidebook, go with what you came up with. Cards are open to interpretation. All right, so we aren't going to go through the tarot or Lenormand because those were pretty self-explanatory. So we're starting with the oracle cards, and your first card was Unakite. Compassion and growth unite and are strengthened. Love is not absorbed into progress. Advancement does not trump the need for care. Side by side, they work in balance for a greater good. Even love can advance, grow, and embrace deeper treasures by aligning with progress. Growing together isn't a loss of individuality, but a means to deeper knowledge of who you are. Unakite resonates with the heart chakra and the zodiac sign Scorpio, the elements of fire and water. The gemstone is comprised of 2 minerals, and the green represents nature and balance. The pink denotes love and compassion. One of the key components of Unakite is epidote, a mineral whose name is derived from the Greek for growing together. This crystal gently and lovingly helps relationships between those who do not always see eye to eye. Unakite is useful in the workplace or where there is a personality clash. This card offers the gifts of compromise and integration and can help us put differences aside so we can work toward a greater cause. Patience. Release your past life karma. You are an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past lives will raise your vibration. You are an old soul who has journeyed through many different lifetimes and gained deep knowledge on your way. Your present situation requires you to either tap into your ancient wisdom for the answers or release a block that you've carried forward from another incarnation. You may have some deep fear from a previous time that is being brought to the surface so it can be released for good. There may be people you still hold karmic agreements with. Clearing these agreements is now possible, and this will allow you to move forward on your own path. It may be time for you to remember the soul gifts that have been locked away and are now ready to be shared with the world. As an old soul, you have evolved over centuries. It is time for you to use your knowledge to awaken and ascend in this lifetime and to help others do the same. Spend some time sitting quietly in meditation and ask this mystical unicorn to guide you back to the answers or the healing you need and to help you unleash your hidden gifts. Your past lives hold treasures that can help you rise into your power and create the life of abundance, joy, and freedom that you desire. From Whispers of Healing, boundaries. Strong boundaries are necessary for you now. Decide what you do and don't want in your life. In regard to your healing, this is more practical than you might realize. If others are interfering with your well-being or impinging on your ability to care for yourself, take notice and make the needed changes. Imagine digging a moat or creating an impermeable border around your body, your home, or your workspace to create the space you need. You have gone through a tremendous period where many aspects of your life have been altered. It is imperative to honor your limitations and acknowledge that you need to take better care of yourself. People might mean well, but miss the cues when you aren't up for long visits or extensive phone calls. You don't need to make excuses. Let others know you are making changes to better support your energy and healing. It is important to put yourself first. Your true friends and family will respect the boundaries you put in place. From Alice, the Wonderland. Nonsense. It's time to talk sense. The quote from Alice. The queen turned crimson with fury, and after glaring at her for a moment like a wild beast, began screaming, "Off with her head! Off with—" "Nonsense!" said Alice, very loudly and decidedly, and the queen was silent. Sometimes, like Alice, you are going to surprise yourself with your courage. When someone is being aggressive and threatening, you will need to stand up to them and speak to them in a very firm and strong manner, much as Alice does to the queen, who is overly fond of abusing her power, threatening nearly everybody and relating to people in only one way: overbearance. If this is taking place with a person or situation within your life, you need to call that someone out on their bad behavior. Like Alice, you do not need to say very much, or criticize the person, argue with them, or even point out what they are doing. You simply need to be firm, clear, and direct, and cut through all the nonsense that is taking place. If you do this, you will silence them, and they can do you no harm. They will be so surprised that someone is expressing their personal power and pointing out their silliness that you will be quite safe. Others will be grateful, and in time they too will stand up for themselves. Even though you may not be as powerful as this other person, your inner courage, when expressed, makes you an amazing person who can change the world with the simple refusal to tolerate bad behavior for one moment longer. Well, that certainly fits well with the boundaries card, doesn't it? And lastly, your card from Wild Kuan Yin. Grandmother Dragonfly holds the wisdom. I take delight in life, particularly life that is unexpected, where new life springs from old, and that which seems to have ended is resurrected into new form. I am bringing you a resurrection now. That which may seem to have ended will yet yield something of value, something of benefit for your life journey and divine success. Keep your heart open and remain in the present moment so you can enjoy the gifts that will soon be resting in the palms of your hands. Sometimes there is benefit in focusing on the new, seeking out untried paths, developing untapped resources, and exploring possibilities. The intoxication of hope, inspiration, and optimism combined can be hard to resist. Sometimes, however, we think the grass is greener elsewhere, when really that is just a game of the mind. We may become seduced by the constant thrill of coming up with new ideas, but if we were to stop and look clearly at what we already have in our lives, we would realize that there is much of value waiting to be put to use. So take your time. See what is within you and your world right now. There is great beauty there. At least part of your sacred life purpose means being a late bloomer, and as such you will be growing into your most abundant and prosperous times later in life. Through the course of your life you will develop your own wisdom, which will be rich nourishing, and exceptionally honoring of life. You will help people in many and varied ways. It is all part of your natural development, and you can trust in it. There is no need for you to ever be impatient or doubting of this. Take your time and allow yourself to blossom steadily. Do not step away from what you are cultivating, even if it seems to have lost its steam, run out of energy, or be utterly dead in the water. There is something within you have been working on that is going to yield something of great benefit. There will be much more success, prosperity, happiness, and maturing of your ultimate life goals and journey in tending to what is already in development than in abandoning it completely to pursue something new. If you have been thinking about repurposing or repackaging a helpful concept or product, then this oracle confirms that this will bring prosperity. Likewise, for any business that is about utilizing what has been used and discarded, or anything related to older members of society, or about death and dying, or even for gardening, with an emphasis on fertilizer and composting. The oracle supports all such pursuits as being successful and aligned with heaven's greater purpose in your life. If you are looking to go back and pick up an old project, even something you thought was completed, and revise it, redesign, or otherwise improve upon it, trust your intuition and go through with that process. If you or a loved one are progressing in years and have unpleasant moments of worrying that the best in life is behind you, that perhaps your dreams are not meant to be, or that love will pass you by, have faith. The best is yet to come. Wow, I didn't expect that from that card. That was quite beautiful. All right, pile 3. Thank you. Take care.